Hi. We are talking today to Dana Magdasi, an Israeli lawyer representing parents or intended parents in surrogacy abroad. Hi, Dana. We are talking today about the egg donor in surrogacy abroad. Could you tell us what exactly is the part of the egg donor in the surrogacy process?
When talking about surrogacy abroad, some intended parents need egg donation in order to create the embryos. Without the egg donor, we don't have embryos. Most of our egg donors come from Ukraine or Georgia, United States. This is very important to choose an egg donor and get as much of information as you can about her. Some places like Ukraine, the egg donation is anonymous. You don't know the donor. You cannot meet her. You don't know. Sometimes you can see a photo. Some clinics does not allow it, but you do get a lot of information regarding her appearance, height, weight, education, hobbies, children. In the United States, you can get a lot of information. You can meet the donor. You can personally meet her before choosing her. You get a lot of medical examination. Also in Ukraine, you have a lot of genetic tests. Intended parents must insist to see the tests, to make sure that these tests are being done, because this is the egg donor tests, medical tests are very important. Genetic tests are mostly important because the egg donor would be part of your life forever, as this is your genetic link.
Who is the typical egg donor? What is her usual background?
Usually the egg donor would be a young woman from 18, 19, depends on the law of the country that they're coming from, up to 30, 35, depends on the clinics that provide her. Usually it's not recommended to take an egg donor over 32, 33. Usually it depends on the country, but most of the time it would be advised to take an egg donor that has children, that we know that she's fertile, because sometimes if you take an egg donor that does not have children and never donated in the past, you cannot really know that you can provide eggs and can create embryos from her eggs. It depends on the place. Some egg donors would be students that need money for college or for university, so they will donate for that. And some girls will donate because they want to see their children. It varies from country to country, the reasons to become an egg donor. 90% of the egg donor would do it for financial reasons.
What sort of information regarding the egg donor should the intended parent receive?
It varies from the countries. As I said before, in the United States, you receive a lot of information. You can meet the donor face to face. You can talk to her. You can socialize with her. You can get her full address, house, telephone number, and everything, a lot of details. You can get a lot of, once you meet her, so you can ask her a lot of personal questions. These kind of donors, because it's not anonymous donation. In places like South Africa or Ukraine, this is anonymous donations. You can get a lot of information, but you cannot meet the donor. You cannot socialize with her. You don't know her name. You don't know where she lives and what kind of condition she lives. So these kind of things, it could be good in sometimes, because when meeting the egg donor, sometimes in the future you have a lot of thoughts about it. But on the other hand, some people would like to socialize with the egg donor, or at least meet her and see her, but not all of the places allow that.
What can you tell us about the egg donation itself, about the procedure?
Again, I'm not a medical person. I'm a legal person, but from my experience, what happens is, first the egg donors, they overdo a lot of tests. If it's a blood test, if it's ultrasound test, hormone test, all kind of tests that make sure that they're not sick, they're not ill, infectious disease. a lot of genetic tests to make sure that their genes are fine and they don't have any genetic problems. Once they're having all these tests and all the tests are confirmed by your fertility clinic, so the donor will start stimulation, which is hormone treatment, in order to provide a lot of eggs, because you don't want to receive one egg, you want to receive many eggs. So a good donor will provide high quality eggs, between 10 to 15 high quality eggs that you can retrieve at a certain day, between day 10 to 14 of the stimulation. It depends on the protocol. And once you retrieve the eggs, you fertilize them with the sperm of the intended parent. 3 days later, you have embryos that you can transfer to the uterus of the surrogate mother. That would be the procedure of the egg donation. The egg retrieval is a surgical procedure where the egg donor is in a full anesthesia for like 15-20 minutes. And this is the procedure.
And finally, what kind of restrictions apply to the egg donor, say age or say religion?
They don't have religion restrictions unless the intended parents insist on certain religions. Some intended parents would like the egg donor to be the same religion as they are, but it doesn't matter really, because it does not reflect anywhere. As long as the surrogate mother is not your religion, so it's not really important. Age restriction, again, you don't have legally age restriction. The restriction is that you won't be a minor. You cannot take a 15-year-old to egg donation. As long as your country has a limit of minor, as long as the donor is not a minor, you can take her. Regarding the maximum age, that would be up to you mostly. If you want to take an egg donor 40 years old, you can do it. It's just not advised, because a 40-year-old woman could not donate as well as a 20-year-old woman. But there are no restrictions regarding that. She has to be healthy. She has to be not carry any contagious disease like syphilis or HIV or something like that, or hepatitis. But besides that, there are no restrictions.
Dana Magdasi, an Israeli lawyer representing intended parents in surrogacy abroad. Thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you.